Yes, people. Right, today's mission. I wanted to get the Sierra out, the Escort out, and the Escort back in. But I'm losing light fast now, and it started raining. But it's January, the middle of. The car's going to get wet if I intend on using it for a week. See if I can get her running. Bleeding cat prints all over it again. I've got my spanner. It's not been fired up for, that sounded promising, for at least 5 weeks. And it's not had a run out on the road for at least 3 months. So I want to give it a run really. It's still taxed, insured and MOT'd. That isn't. Right, see if this puppy dog will start now. Fuel pump. Always a good sign. Don't know if it's showing up, but there's about 100 paw prints on the bonnet, scratches. All paw prints. Look, can you see that one shining there? They are absolutely peppered all over the bonnet, all over the wings. But it's been climbing on the bonnet. We're just going to put these chocks under the wheels. Stop it going forward when I jack it up. We're good. Jack's in place, ready to go. Just jack it up on the diff. It's gone dark a bit now. Right, let's get cracking them. Start with the locking wheel nut. It shouldn't be too tight. I try not to make them too tight. These will have it. Shabba. Right, we're back again. Next day. It's the bit I'm not going to enjoy now. I've got to scratch about underneath. Try and get undo that. Gubbins. Then take the wheel off. You've got to unscrew that for the handbrake caliper. So you can unclip it. There's this. Somehow got to undo it. I think pull that out. Maybe you don't. Either way, just back it off because that's the tensioner. First jobby, I put this mat down here. It's like a spill mat I got from work. Catch the brake fluid hopefully. I'm going to undo it from this joint here. I've got like this thing here. Hoping just screw that in there and that'll stop it dripping all the time. So I'll disconnect that before I disconnect the caliper, just so it stays rigid really. It can be a bit of a pain in the arse to undo these. Right, top ones are 17, bottoms are 13. Get a light on here. Oh, she was tight. I think that's it, it's gone. Cracked loose. Oh, pipe's turning with it. Worst case scenario, that. Oh, yeah, the copper pipe's moving with it. Not good. The handbrake's not sticking, really. Must be the piston. Like, I'm not imagining I've had issues with this. I'm going to take it away anyway. Take it away and strip it. But that seems fine. I've given up on the idea of undoing this bolt here. I'm going to do an old sailor's trick. I've already undone the handbrake cable. I had to go back under it 3 times to wind that plastic bung out all the way. I'm going to undo it from the sliders and then unwind. Yeah, it's 15. What a daft size spanner, eh? You always have to get off your arse and go and get one because you just don't use them. It should just come up now. Oh, actually, I'll move them because there might be a bit of brake fluid here. Oh, nips it up again. What a donut. It's coming. Not seen any brake fluid yet. Just got a bit of juice there. Look at this. Bloody cobwebs on the dashboard. Can you see it? Been a while since driving this puppy. Right, I'm back again after my dinner. I'm really having a hard time coming to terms with what this actually is in here. Because everything's sealed apart from that. It's madness. Where does it come from and what is it and how? Obviously it's part of a gasket, but have you seen anything like that in your life? It is mad. Doesn't look like it's come off that seal there. I'll pull it out in a minute and have a look, but this stuff here, it's got like grease in it as well. That's grease, that brake grease. But if you look at that thread, it doesn't look like it's come off there. And in there, doesn't look like it's heavily greased or anything. So is the seal behind it gone as well? Or... But if the seal behind it has gone, it'd be coming out of the top of the handbrake mechanism. Do I open it up? I suppose I've got no choice now, have I? But to investigate. Very, very strange. Can't see any damage on this, like first hoop, but it's the exact proper size. That's like for like, pretty much. Yeah, it's the inside edge that I found inside the cylinder. That's mad. So it's pretty much sat in like that. How was it shaved the back of it off? Really cannot understand that. It's sealing, but I don't know. Yeah, we're on private land now. Look at this bad boy. It'd be rude not to do a bloody donut, wouldn't it? Sacrilege. Oh, it looks nice. Minus 7.5 today in the van. Whoa. Kettle's frozen up inside. It's been inside all night. It's frozen. No way. Not too happy with the inside of this where the seal sits. Bought a new seal kit and a new piston. But where the seal sits, it's like a thread's been cut in it. I'm gutted as well also, it's not a bleeding genuine Ford caliper. I thought it was, it must be the other side. But if you look at the seal, where it's indentated, indentations all over it where the rust was, and that's probably what misshaped it, and that's why it was not functioning properly. But it's just going to rust up again, I think. Yeah, not happy at all. But here's what it is. Every time I spray it, I get some sort of grease coming out of it as well. So I don't know whether to strip it fully. I mean, my mind's made up now. I am going to change it eventually. I mean, I might just rebuild this one now, but I think I'll have to get some either Recon ones, because there's no way I'm going to find some Ford ones. They're all going to be like that. But saying that, when I stripped this Ford one 2 weeks ago, when I pulled the original seal out of it, behind it was absolutely perfect. It was gleaming. This one here, the front one, was rusty as hell, but the one inside, it was in my last video anyway, but it's a lot cleaner than this one is. You can see what 10 years worth of brake line's done, or 9 years or something. It's only had light use, but you can see the difference in the fixings, that end especially, for a comparison. Only light miles, good few thou, but probably 10,000 or something. But yeah, when I put that on there, this caliper was already on the car, so I might just pull it apart and have a look. The mechanism on it, it's quite stiff. This one I pulled apart, I can move it nice with my fingers. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but that proper crusty. Gonna get a load of that in there. That brown is gunk. That's probably just, see, there is grease on there, but I thought it felt stiff. Right, let's continue. Just undoing this for the spring now. Just like a little steel torpedo to take out inside as well, and that should come out, but I think it's going to be a bit stiff. I have to force that other one out with a big screwdriver. Oops. No, that's what I'm talking about. Wow. Doesn't look like it's rusty like the other, but that is just congealed. It's probably been that hot. What's behind it? Yeah, same story. This should come out. Look at this. It wasn't. I was expecting it to be a lot stiffer. Yeah. It's going to benefit from clean up that. Holy smoke. Got some Scotch-Brite with WD-40 on it. See if I can do anything in there with this. I'm going to attack this with a trusty drill and a wire wheel. I've not much hope for it, but we've now to lose, have we? Right, this is where we're at. I've hammerite K-rusted that just to give it a fighting chance, but this is what goes on inside. It pushes the torpedo into that and moves it basically. But even this piston here, there's slight pit marks on there, so it's had loads of water in there. Ultimately it's only a dust seal, this. I mean, I've cleaned it up. My mind's made up. I'm going to get a new caliper, but for the time being I'm going to rebuild this and put it on, just because it's going to take a bit of time to get new calipers. They're not easy to come by because they're expensive, and I might change the handbrake cable while I'm at it. But yeah, it's absolute chaos here. Absolute chaos. Yeah, I've checked out this as well. I've got my new piston, and it doesn't even come with the bloody gubbins inside. So yeah, consider that. If you buy a new piston, you've got to change all that over as well. I could not believe that. But yeah, it is what it is. Interesting. You can see there's actually damage to this straight out of the bag. Scratch marks that side. Scratch marks that side. There's a little bit of tickling on the end of that as well. Jeez. It came in a box, a little box in that. It looked well sealed. Right, we're good. The old G-clamp and socket trick. It's quite fiddly, to be honest. Well doable, but my god, there's not much room for error, put it that way. And it is a faff. Rebuilding it now, but in hindsight, if it was a Ford caliper, yeah, I'd probably have a good go at it, but a remanufactured one like this, all this messing about and all that, new seals, and it's not very good inside it and that, I'd save you mitre and just go and buy one for 60 quid if it's a two-wheel drive, but slightly different if it's four-wheel drive. The cheapest one I've seen is 120 for some reason. That's why I'm messing about with this, because pot pickings, that's what they've given me. Well, that's what comes in the kit. That's what's on there. I don't know if it's worn down or it's just... But either way, it doesn't look good because look, there's a load of fluid in there. That's a breather hole, that. So ultimately, if there's fluid in there, surely it'd have been dripping out of there. There's a leaking caliper. Oh, I don't know what to make of it. Yeah. I mean, I could try the new seal, but I'm not very hopeful. See how one's like square and one's like round. Same again with the old G-clamp and the socket. You've got to be careful, I only wind it down a little bit and then get your circlip in. It's gone with a new seal and a new piston. It felt nice going in, to be fair. The old one, it's looking a bit skanky inside. I mean, that rubber seal, although it does look square, it's only the inside profile that looks square to me the most. Oh, I dropped the rascal anyway. It was what it was. Moving on. This is the one they've given me. Oh my god. Oh my days. Look at that. That doesn't even seal, surely not. Here's the old one. Well, yeah, that's not good, is it? Perhaps when it's inside it'll push down on it a bit, but I can see daylight through there. Right, I'm rewound anyway. It's looking good. Went in pretty easy actually. I was a bit naughty, I used that as well off an angle grinder. Tell you what's annoying. Unless I've lost it. They give me the bloody rubber bung here, but they're not giving me a new bleed nipple. It'll look nice, that. A nice new nipple. That one's manky. Yeah. Winner, winner. Found a nipple in here in this little set. Should go in there nicely. It's not brand new, but it's so much better condition than that old thing. Might not work now. It looks a bit longer, but geez, it's super crusty, that. So I'm glad I at least took that old one out. Surprise, that fucking cat has been on my bonnet again. Oh, I've been using the car last week. Parked it up in here because I've washed it and it was wet and I didn't put the cover on it. I can't believe it. I can confirm that the piston was definitely leaking anyway, just looking at the brake pad. I didn't really pay much attention before, but look, you can see where it's bubbled the paint, and also, what's worse, contaminated the pad. Brand newies, so that's useless. Front one's banging. You see, it soaks up the brake fluid. Just had to nick one off the spare calipers. Pretty much the same, I run the same pads, like. They're pretty much like for like thickness. But you can't put that one back on. Even though these aren't staying on, I will probably get new pads eventually, but just to build it, just to be the worst thing now is going to be cleaning out these. Like I say, I put new sliders on this. And the old grease in there. I mean, I'm going to use a bit of WD-40 and something, try and poke it in the hole a bit. Clean the sliders with WD-40 and then a bit of brake cleaner. Pretty clean. The pin kit comes with a tub of grease, so I'm going to use that, pretty much half in each one. It's all back together. Just need to adjust the handbrake and bleed it now, really. I've got a spare tyre here for pressure bleed now. It's a bit loud outside as well. Blowing a gale. Alright, that's my easy bleed, Gunston easy bleed. You screw it on top of the brake reservoir and then attach the other end to a tyre. That tyre over there with 20 psi in it. Oh, I need to fix my pump as well. I think it's blown a fuse. Managed to get some extras. I'm hoping this is going to do it because I kind of need it now. I don't really buy another one. It was 40 quid. I've already rigged up one of the buttons on it because it broke. Well, pump works, but not after catching fire on the end of it. Even the fuse, it burnt the end of my thumb when I grabbed it. It was that hot. Well, ropey. My eyes are glued to that screen in case it goes off. That's my wheel attached to the brakes. 20 psi in it. Over here now. I've attached it to a bottle. Oh, excuse me. So it doesn't spill really. Just an 11mm spanner. Hopefully we'll see a bit of juice. Juice? No? Yep. It's good to check the colour as well in a see-through bottle, even though this has had milk in it as well. Yeah, I mean, it'd help if the pipe was a bit more see-through as well. You'd better see the bubbles, but here's what it is. Coming out thick and fast. See if there's any bubbles in it, just about. It's all looking good to me. Just pump the pedal a few times. it's firmed up. Give it another pump. Just pull the pipe off when you're done. Keeps all the mess in one place. It's up to you how you dispose of it responsibly, I guess. I've got some new hoses here, both cars. To replace these, but when I get new calipers and a new handbrake caliper, handbrake cable, I'll fit the new hoses as well. I mean, they still work, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with them, they're just a bit meh, but yeah, for now I've got to do the handbrake cable up. I'll leave the tyre attached to it with the 20 psi in it for 20 minutes, I guess. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but just to see if it's going to drip or leak anywhere. I mean, ultimately you'd have to keep your eye on it for the next week or so, especially if it's like weeping around the piston. You could undo the sliders and perhaps lift it and have a good look at it. But just as you're tightening up the handbrake cable, thinking a job well done, I thought I'd have a look over at the other caliper. With 20 psi in it, it looks like, I don't know if you can make that out, it looks like it's weeping from that piston. So we get to do it all over again. I'm definitely going to look out for some new calipers now. This is madness. No way, Jose. I'm going to have to move the flipping car as well because it's right up against the side and I need to move it forward. Oh, don't you just love Ford life? To be fair, the piston was replaced. If you have a look under there, it's looking pretty dry. It's looking drier than the other side anyway. Well, who'd have thought it?